Like this mic has moved, but it's probably just my brain.
No, it has moved. Because I was using that chair when I was on the phone.
I'm upset.
Don't be upset. This is my basement.
How dare you move something that you own in your basement for your own thing? How dare you?
I know.
I only occupy this seat as gracious because of you. Those words didn't make sense, but you know what I mean.
I know what you meant. Fuck me, right?
I know, right?
God.
Fucking asshole in this room.
Jesus.
Respect me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 177 of the CAMcast. Woohoo! The podcast that knows the difference between balsa wood and teak.
I mean, what is the difference?
Moving right along. You can find us on all the social medias. We are at CamAutoMag on all of them.
Can I find the difference between balsa wood and teak on CamAutoMag.com?
No, it's actually going to be subliminally messaged through the episode.
Exactly.
Listen to the whole episode, you'll find the difference.
Yep, we'll get that. We'll throw that in there just very, very subtly. Find this podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. We are on all of those things. Just search CAMcast or CamAutoMag in your podcast thing of choice. If we don't pop up, let me know by dropping an email to mailbag@camautomag.com.
Dear leader, why aren't we on Netscape?
Because I don't have a time machine? Why are you making references from when you were just a tiny child?
I'm upset that we're not on there.
I mean, that's old even for me. My God. Anyway, if you like our witty banter and our knowledge, such as the difference between balsa wood and teak and how much to tip a waiter, you can go ahead and support us on Patreon, patreon.com/CamAutoMag. You can support us for as little as $1 a month or up to $15,000 as we found out, but I highly recommend the $5 a month option.
At the very least, $5 a month.
Oh, yeah.
Because that gets you access to the Cam Shenanigans super secret awesome shitposting group.
Yep. It also gets you bonus content in the form of videos and other things, and also access to the Thursday podcast at least a day early. So, there you go.
I like it.
Me too. All right. Zach, I'm going to throw this to you. You have some good news.
Good news, everyone.
Yes, you do.
Oh, no. I pressed the wrong button.
Yes, you did. There you go.
Do we have good news?
You do have good news. Think, dumbass.
I mean,
I got a job.
There you go.
I got a job.
Wow.
Speaking about catching me off guard there. Yeah, I got a new job. I'm excited.
You spent 10 minutes before this podcast talking about it.
Heat. Watch me not get the job. Watch something happen.
Wow.
Watch this be the podcast that gets out.
Yeah.
Watch this be the thing that gets us paid. It's like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah. I did almost think about bringing this up on my interview, being like, oh, do you have anything that you're really proud of? Like, yeah, I'm on a podcast. But
I've brought this thing up on interviews before. It has not gone well.
Oh, so you're the manager of a dumpster fire. Got it.
But I run it.
I was going to be more along the lines of the technical aspect of how I am the lord of the boards. I should have used that in my interview. That would have been great.
Yes,
It says here on your interview under experience, you are known as the Lords of the Boards on a automotive online podcast.
Oh, speaking of that, I had to explain to my grandma what a podcast was over the week.
Hello, Zack? Zack? Why is Alexa telling me what kind of car to buy? What's going on over here?
She was thoroughly confused by the idea of the radio talk show on the internet.
Grandpa's just slapping the side of the old RCA there, just trying to get it to come in clear.
Where did you put the keys to the Lumina?
Helen, this goddamn thing isn't working. What'd you do?
You need to move the antennas, the ones with the tinfoil.
This thing was working last night.
You're painting a brilliant picture of my grandparents' house that isn't inaccurate.
Aren't they from the middle of backwoods, absolute nowhere, Idaho?
That's why we need an Autobahn there.
Been around old people enough to know how this shit works.
I feel like all old people are the same.
Their road they live on is probably about 5 miles long.
Okay.
There's 6 houses on it.
Yeah, that's how my aunt's house is. Anyway, so you got a new job. Congratulations.
Yeah, back to the new job. Got a new job.
Yeah.
I might be going and test driving some new cars, and I might have some interesting stories about me driving cars that I probably shouldn't be driving.
Well,
Interesting to say the least.
Cars that people shouldn't be letting you drive.
There you go.
There's a difference there.
Yep. Just like balsa wood and teak.
There we go. Anyway, well, just remember, teak's the one you want in your house. Balsa wood's for hobbies.
I mean, with the advent of 3D printing, is balsa wood even going to be used in modeling anymore?
I don't know.
Hey, I saw some of those plans I got for my
Yeah, there you go.
Cracker Jack box.
Hardwood versus softwood, baby.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Well, I am eagerly counting down the days until I go to Mexico. So, I just cannot tell you how much I want to leave this country, and specifically my job.
Can you bring back presents for us?
I will do what I can.
Can you bring back some sand?
All I want is for you and your loved one to come back safe and sound.
We're going to specifically kind of, the part of Mexico that caters to, I'm not sure how to put this delicately, lily white affluent people. So,
So
got it.
San Lucas?
Yeah, that's like where we're going. So there's apparently literally like a giant nice looking mall right outside of the resort that we're staying. So it's like, oh, cool. So I don't feel terribly afraid, but
See, that's how they reel you in, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the interview. I know all about the fake fruit in the grocery store and the fat kid waving at you as you drive by.
Well, I was at the store getting the nacho stuff, and I saw my Tia V, and she asked, she was asking about it, and we had a little conversation. She's just like, no, don't leave the resort. And I'm like, well, my plan for the trip is wake up, take a book, go sit by the pool, and drink tequila until it's time for dinner.
That's a plan right there.
And then,
That's not a vacation. I don't know what the hell is.
Well, my girlfriend, God bless her, she's just like, well, I want to do this and this and this and this. And I'm just like, my days are wake up at 10 to 6, go sit in a windowless office for 9 hours, and then come back here and work for 2 or 3 on this delightful podcast, which, shout out to everybody who's contributing on the Patreon.
Yeah.
We are $32 away from randomly picking a patron to come and sit in on a podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
If that's not reason enough to subscribe at $32 a month right now, I don't know what is.
Oh, also,
that also might improve your chances.
yeah. Also, shout out to Mike Rowan, who got not 1 but 2 Cam shirts because I accidentally sent him the wrong size.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
Oh, no.
Sorry, dude. But don't worry, the other one should have shown up as we record on this, whatever the hell Monday it is, the 25th or something. I got the notification.
Signed on my paperwork today, so I hope so.
I got the notification that it showed up today. So there you go, buddy.
Excellent.
Your stickers are also in the mail.
Shout out to you, bud.
Yep. But yeah.
Actually, I think one of his daughters could wear that shirt.
I mean, I'm hoping there's somebody in that house who could, just make use of an XL. I mean, even if you just turn it into a flag.
Oh, God, it was an XL? Okay, yeah, no. Everybody in the family can wear an XL.
Yeah.
It'd be a tent on all of those kids.
Yeah. So there you go, man. Just my incompetence is your gain. So
thanks for being patient, bud, and thanks for supporting.
yeah. So
We heart you.
didn't mean for it to take that long, but yeah. Everybody else that I owe stickers to, I'm probably going to see you at the NASA weekend, which is this weekend.
You're right.
Yep.
It is.
I am hoping to pick up the stickers from Stucky this week, so then I will get them to you this weekend. So then we'll be caught up on Patreon rewards.
Beautiful.
Yep. So
beautiful.
yes. So, and while we're talking about people, we need to wish some people happy birthday.
Oh, Merry Birthmas to Nick Stuckey.
Yep.
Good old Cole from Life Motorsports.
Big Dick himself.
Yep. Let's see. John Trong, Colton McLean. He's an OG.
Oh,
way
so
back
OG.
then.
Have you seen him lately?
I have not.
He is comically ripped.
Oh, yeah. He's all yoked out, huh?
Like
That doesn't surprise me.
Like, I love the dude, but I cannot look at him and not kind of chuckle.
I mean, that's fair because we knew him when he was skinny.
Yeah. Like,
That's great. Shout out to the resident Canadian, Tyler Grosskopf,
yep.
a.k.a. T-Money Grass Clippings. I'm not lying.
Okay.
And then Josh Willett, the big man over there at JW Repair. He does all the window chip fixes and such. He's got that awesome business. He's a really cool dude. I really like
super
Josh.
Nice.
Nice.
So shout out to all you guys.
Yeah, he was a cool dude. He I believe he was the one who gave me a lot of bacon at the last 2-day
He was the one that was feeding everybody bacon. That's right. You got a picture of me being hung over with him around my shoulder, feeding me bacon.
Yep. All right. Wow. This is...
Wow, dang.
Oh, we are now... Okay, so, guys, we are going to do our GT Sport Challenge update.
Yes.
So
we've got a twist here.
So, first, Evil Trent was sick all weekend, and he's still sick, so he hasn't sent me the official release, but I do have here the times of the 4 people who submitted a time.
Hey.
I did just snap my spiral notebook here for a dramatic effect.
That's official AF.
Yep. So, coming in on the top spot, Brandon McConkey, 144.769.
Woo, that's fast.
Then we had Jeff, 146.046.
Yeffa.
Our beloved estranged pizza father, 146.761.
Mm-hmm.
And then yours truly.
Hold on.
Yep, 153.701.
Damn.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Listen, man, I was slapping everybody who was on the couch not holding a PlayStation controller.
Wow.
God damn it, Dave.
Just so eager.
I don't know what happened right there.
Once we get the big...
I'm really,
He just pulled a Zack right
I'm
there.
really glad that beer bottle was empty.
Here's the other...
And there was a koozie around it. Otherwise, that would have been a cacophony of noise.
So before we get back to the GT Sport Challenge thing, so we were talking about we are going to be building a bigger pod table, one that is, better for what we're trying to do, So we have more real estate and all that stuff. Also, I want cup holders for this very reason.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so cup holders are going to happen on the pod table 2.0.
Just to make you feel better, Dave, that did spill. The bottom half of that is just solid metal. Electronics don't start until the keyboard.
Good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that explains why they float keyboard side up.
Yeah.
Well, learn something new every day. Anyway.
Don't ask me how I know how a
MacBook
floats.
I really want to know now.
You don't.
Anyway, so, couple weeks ago, Evil Trent put it to me that we might want to consider moving to a different game, one that would engage more people.
I mean, I don't know anybody that plays this game.
Well, neither did I, but judging by the comments, apparently we're not talking to the right people. So the options were, we put it on a poll, and the other game would be Project Cars 2, because that is available on PlayStation, Xbox, and Windows PC.
PC Master Race.
Exactly. So the question that we put up on the old Facebook page was, should we keep doing GT Sport, or should we switch to Project Cars 2 and kind of have the ability to have more people? And as of right now, we have 32 votes, and I don't think this has ever happened in the history of the world.
So, it's 16 and 16 right now for yes and no.
Yep. So, yeah, this is. We got a lot of stuff going on. So, anyway, that's going to be up on the Facebook page. It's going to be the pinned post on Wednesday.
Yeah, that is Cam Automotive Magazine's page, not Cam Shenanigans.
Nope, it is facebook.com/CamAutoMag is where you're going to go to find that poll.
Yep.
It is currently the second post on the page. Well, as you hear this, it's going to be the third. So, but don't worry, we'll get it back up there. Anyway, so if you want to get in on the video game racing challenge, make your voice heard.
Or, if you just want us all to say, screw it, and I'll start the Forza challenge, you can also let us know. I will do that. I actually just scored a G920 off of
nice.
The Facebook classifieds.
Damn.
So, so I've been having a little bit of fun with that, trying to figure out Forza in a whole new light.
Man, yeah. So as we explained, last Thursday, Chance. The reason there isn't a Forza challenge is because, everybody who was involved in this thing initially had GT Sport. Mm-hmm. And Trent and Alex Crane offered to run it, so, that's how it came to be. nobody had Forza, or the people who had Forza ended up not having time to devote to coming up with, challenges every week and everything. So
That would be me.
yeah, I mean, it's all right. It happens.
We're busy people.
My personal life is crazy.
It happens.
Believe it or not.
Yep. Anyway, so there we go, folks. So that is updated, I believe. I haven't double-checked the math, but I still believe it is Brandon and Alex atop the
points board?
Yep. I think Brandon might have finally eked out a small lead. But, yeah, then I believe it would be Pizza Dad because he's been slightly more consistent than Evil Trent. Then Evil Trent, and then I believe it's myself, seeing as how I've only done one event this year. So,
at least you showed up.
Damn right. I have no idea what the next challenge is going to be, so,
Richard Burns Rally. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay.
Listen, if it were me, I have some ideas of what they would be, and they are hilarious.
We might have to explore that next episode.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. Anyway,
I like it.
So there we go. Housekeeping such done.
Excellent.
Yep.
And now we've got news brought to you in part by these amazing nachos you made.
You're welcome. It's literally just dump everything on a tray and shove it in the oven.
But isn't that the easiest way? The best way?
It's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm full and
it's definitely
satisfied.
working.
There you go.
Exactly. And you know what else it's brought to you by? CAMautoswag.com.
Yup. We've finally got the Understeer to Victory shirt in there. It's going to be the shirt for
The foreseeable future.
Yeah, the rest of, well, no. Trent is getting some of his stuff going, which we will shout out after this little read here real quick. Yeah, no, it's going to be the shirt for the rest of March and all of April, which also gives me some time to get some more designs done.
I've seen them. They're kind of pretty.
Some of them are kind of cool. Some of them are going to involve me having to go out and go on some field trips.
Oh, no.
I know. Anyway, so aside from the shirt of the month, I mean, it's still a little chilly out there. Now is the time for the Cam hoodie.
It's true.
This is prime thin hoodie weather. So go get yourself the Cam hoodie. Go get yourself the beanie, either pom-pom or no.
Get the pom-pom because it's two-tone.
Yep.
It's two-toned.
That's pretty much, I mean, the pom-pom's cool, but the two-tone just puts it on another level.
I'm assuming we still have Mount Canmore.
I believe that's always going to be in there.
I think that should stay.
Yeah.
I mean, if only because it's got my face on it.
Let's just double-check the story here.
It doesn't have mine, but
So
I'm
we've
okay
got the
with that.
bag, we've got the long-sleeve shirt, we've got the hoodie, we've got the hat, we've got the iPhone case, which I still have and love.
Yeah, yours is surviving.
Yeah, I mean, and
Yep.
Zach can attest to how rough I am on this.
Oh,
I drop this phone several times a day.
Yep.
It's always comical. It's like fumbling a football.
It really is, because I always make it worse than if it would have just fallen directly to the floor. I end up like kicking it 3 times and slapping it across the shop.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, go pick it up. That we've got the bag,
Yeah.
we've got the tote bag, we've got the hats, we've got the iPhone cases, we've got the Mount Canmore T-shirt, we've got everything.
Yeah.
Just go get one of everything.
Yeah.
We will love you forever.
That's
We
over-
really would.
It's over at CAMautoswag.com. And there we go. And the aforementioned Good Trend, he is currently trying to get Hustle Energy up off the ground.
Oh, really?
Which are these little energy chew things, which the more and more I'm working at that windowless office, the more and more I realize I need something. So, go ahead and give them a follow. And he's getting Money Pit Motors back on track.
I have to check out this Hustle Energy thing.
Yeah.
Where
so-
can I follow that at?
I believe it's just on Instagram. It's just Hustle Energy.
All one word?
Should be.
Look at that right now.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. And also Money Pit Motors. He just gave away a couple hats.
Oh.
So, yeah. A couple of his little check engine light hats, which are pretty cool looking.
I think I've seen him wear that a couple times.
Yeah, like he just gave away, I think, the first 2. So, yeah, they got some cool stuff going on. So, go ahead and check out Money Pit Motors, Hustle Energy.
It is hustle.energy.
Hustle.energy. Okay, there we go. So
Beautiful.
Yep. So, and also, speaking of Good Trent, he deserves an ultra special shout-out.
He does.
Yes, he does. Congratulations to him and Suzanne and the rest of the family for welcoming the new son, Colin, into the world.
Yeah, the baby boy.
Yup. Already seen the Grand Tour.
Beautiful.
Damn right,
As
the way
it should be.
So,
110%.
So there we go. Shout out to them.
Good to have a little more testosterone in the family.
Hey, there we go. All right. Well, speaking of testosterone,
Hey.
transition.
Wow.
The rumors are that the current generation Raptor is going to go out with one hell of a bang
Oh, shit.
in the form of it's going to get the GT500 supercharged 5.2.
Oh, dear God.
Yup, at the end of the current F-150 production run, so in about 2020, 2021.
Are we thinking we might see a new Ranger at that same time?
It's possible.
Yeah. So,
I mean, our current Ranger is already a bit long in the tooth for the better part of like 8 or 9 years.
That was 11.
It could be. I don't know.
yeah.
I know it's been used as early as 2011 in other
Yeah.
markets.
Yeah.
Okay, because we lost our Ranger in 08.
11.
11. Okay, so then I might be wrong then. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, so it's this Super Raptor is going to be a send off to not just the current Raptor, but the current generation F-150.
Okay, so that's a good way to round it out.
Yep. So,
I mean, that's cool. I think that's going to probably spawn a pretty crazy Velociraptor build.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
you
yeah.
got to think they've been yanking the EcoBoosts out and putting coyotes in these things and giving them all kinds of work. So now that they've done this for you,
Well, we're going to see what a 1100 horsepower Velociraptor.
right?
I want to see that.
it's going to be crazy.
Yes, please.
Yep. So, I mean, it'll probably get that 10-speed automatic that Ford and GM co-developed, and it's going to be quite the competitor to the Ram TRX pickup, which is pretty much all but confirmed to have that 700 horsepower Hellcat mill in it.
Yep.
So, 2020 is going to be a fun time for crazy ass pickups.
Yeah, if you guys like trucks, especially trucks that you can, pretty much jump.
Yeah. That's the fun thing. So
No better way to avoid a warranty.
right. Just bend the truck in half. Well, some good news. Remember how we were talking about GM cutting jobs and closing factories and all that shit everywhere?
Yeah.
Well, great news. They're going to be investing $300 million into a new electric car and plant that's going to be built in Michigan.
Oh, good old Michigan.
Yep. It's going to add 400 jobs.
Beautiful.
Yep. And it's going to be based on the Bolt.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. Do we have any information on the car itself?
So all they've really said is it's going to be based off an advanced version of the current award-winning Bolt EV architecture.
Wow.
And the rumor mill is hot and heavy with this thing is probably going to be a CUV
Interesting.
because that, I mean...
Okay. Well, I mean, does GM have a small, like a CUV right now on the market? I don't know if they do or not.
I thought they did.
Isn't the Traverse pretty small?
Well, the Traverse is actually pretty big.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, the Traverse is larger than the original, I think, Trailblazer,
Oh, okay.
if not same size. The Equinox and hold on.
We're
Trying to
pulling this
think.
up.
Yeah, anywho, I'm fairly certain there's something that looks like a Sonic hatchback that's like off-roady.
Across the tracks.
The tracks. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
So I was thinking correctly. So maybe this could be an all-electric tracks
Yeah, something like
or a
that.
replacement for the
Traverse
tracks.
is fucking giant.
Yeah, the Traverse
Yeah,
is
the
massive.
Traverse is big. So
The Traverse is the almost the same size as the last generation Tahoe.
yeah, like it's
Which says
They're big, but
yeah.
I believe that the Traverse is what Chilinsky got.
Believe it is.
Oh.
I believe he got that with the blackout package or whatever it was that
Yeah.
made it not look so mall crawler, made it look a little bit more performance oriented.
I think it's the... Oh, fuck, what's it called?
It's one of those.
I think it's the Midnight package. What's
Yeah,
technically
something
called.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
stupid,
something like
but-
that.
Yeah, whatever. So
So, but that's good. So GM's actually going to be putting a bunch of jobs back on the market, and they're going to be pumping a bunch of money into some new infrastructure on this plant.
So
That's good.
That's nice. That's always a good thing to hear.
Yeah,
And
definitely a bonus.
yep. And in even more good GM news, apparently the order guide for the C8 has leaked.
Interesting.
Yes.
A C8 Corvette that keeps blowing its own rear hatch glass out, twisting its frame in half, and starting electrical fires.
Yes.
But
all
you
of those
can
things.
option it now.
I mean, so somebody sent Jalopnik this the screenshots of this order guide, and yeah, I mean it's got. Let's see, I took some cliff notes in here. So it shows an LT2 engine, which is probably just a refreshed LT1 with some updates.
And that's what we believe the base model is going to be.
Yeah, the base model, and one of the transmissions that's listed is an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, which was long-standing rumor that was what it was going, what the base.
I don't think anyone is surprised by that.
No, not really. And then a surprising thing is there is no magnetic ride suspension just listed on its own.
Right, it's part of the Z51 package, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Beautiful.
So let's just kind of breeze through this article over here on Jalopnik.
Does it have any mention of the Blackwing engine yet?
No, I didn't see one in here. But then again, I kind of perused this when I was, taking a break and hiding out in the bathroom at work.
Yeah.
So
because I still think that the Blackwing will come with as a Zora package.
Yeah, something like that. Because that makes sense. Because if they're doing what everybody thinks that they're doing with that twin turbo 5.5 liter V8, that is squarely aimed at going racing with probably IMSA, but also be eligible for FIA stuff like the WEC and going to Le Mans. So they're basically doing Ford's playbook with what they did with the GT.
Yeah.
So except they don't have the gall to basically say we're doing this. We're building a prototype car for the road.
Yeah. If I'm correct, wasn't the car that was running around the ring, didn't that have turbo sounds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A lot of the cars that you've seen being tested, you can hear them with the turbos. And they've actually tested kind of a very early iteration of what is going to be their GTE Pro, GT-LM race car. So with a lot of what that's going to have. It's not going to have the crazy huge horsepower that the street car is going to have because, 1,000 horsepower is cool to brag to your buddies at Cars and Coffee, but a lot of the race cars that you see, like in doing GT3 and, GTE, Pro and whatever.
You need reliability.
They're like 600 horsepower. Yeah. They're nothing crazy. So, yeah. They're specifically listed a competition sport bucket seats, and body contour GT2 seats. Ooh. Something that the Corvette has desperately needed for so long.
Listen, are the white New Balances part of the spec sheet?
Maybe. But let's talk about some of these colors here. So there are many similar to what you can get on the current C7, like Torch Red, Sebring Orange, but there's also new ones, Rapid Blue and Zeus Bronze. We don't know what the hell those are, but,
Oh, I thought that said Earnhardt Lake Blue.
That would be amazing. No, it's Elkhart Lake Blue Metallic.
Of course, Elkhart Lake.
Yeah, Shout out to the Johnsonville Sausages Bridge. Still my favorite bridge in all of racing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, this is, if you want to parse through this, it's over on Jalopnik. But, there's a lot, this is really just kind of that deep, nerdy stuff. And I feel like I've pulled the more important stuff out, the engine, the transmission, that stuff, the magnetic ride.
This is a lot of just, VIN decoding.
Exactly. This is, when... Talk to some of the old-timers at Cars and Coffee, especially the dudes who have, the factory build sheet for their car. I've met... They're very interesting things to see.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but, this is where you're going to see a lot of this stuff, at some point somebody's going to be like, oh, yeah, my Corvette, it's, 1YC07. That's the model code, and you'll be able to piece shit out from that. So, there we go. No, there's a need.
I'm adding something right now for all of us to touch on here really quickly. Sorry,
real quick though. Let's look at this mid-engine Corvette breaking down at a gas station.
Hey,
ha!
That's awesome. And the front is open.
Yeah. No, never mind. You're loading an ad. Fuck off.
Yeah,
I don't have time for ads.
That was a Clorox ad too. It was amazing.
That's great. Ooh.
Yes.
All right. Dave is currently adding a story, and that is the 2020 Bronco is to have a removable top and doors.
I would have thought they were I'm surprised at because I knew that's the Bronco staple is removable top and doors.
Yeah.
But after the what was it?
The Gladiator? Is that what you're thinking of as Jeeps?
No. I'm thinking
sorry.
after the 90s Bronco.
Oh, sorry.
And what generation is that? The third generation, right?
I guess.
Third or fourth.
Yeah,
Something
and
like
they were
that.
like, yeah, the top is removable, but we won't tell you how to remove it.
Yeah, you have to
right, yeah. You
No.
got to figure it out.
Yeah, I kind of figured that this might have gone a way of evening newspaper and, polio
Right.
until very recently.
Right.
This ad?
What? The
What?
the Starbucks ad?
No, the one below it. It's an IKEA ad, which is the part that's getting me.
Oh.
There's a IKEA Kama Sutra. What? Dear.
I've seen this 3 times. I'm sitting
Wow.
thinking until this moment.
Oh, my. No.
I don't need... Okay, no.
I'm not 100% well, a man of my carriage, I'm not sure that an IKEA bed frame is going to hold up to me and the lady doing the horizontal midnight Lindy in it. So,
So the first time I saw this ad, I was like, that's weird. So then I'm like, there's an IKEA logo on that. That's weirder. Sorry to derail that, but that's
it's all right. No, this is
Good hell, man.
fucking weird.
this is what I'm here for. These weird derailments. No,
Climber.
I mean it's
Wow.
a bunk bed.
Okay, anywho, so back to the Bronco.
Wait, it's a bunk bed with a couch underneath it.
Oh
Holy
my
shit!
Wait, what the fuck?
Actually, I want this now.
Why am I too fat for a bunk bed?
I don't have an answer to that.
Okay, to the Bronco. I'm going to drown my sorrows in nachos. Dave, take over.
Hold on.
All right.
Do you want some hard liquor over there?
I had to
Oh,
drown my sorrows
yes.
in a IPA. So some of Ford's top dealers got together recently and got a sneak peek at the new 2020 Bronco. Now, here's the thing. I've seen a couple of the renderings of this as a four-door, and this actually looks really cool.
I'm super excited.
It's like a really boxy version of what you would think like a next-generation Excursion would have been.
It has some throwback taste, which I like because that's what they did with the 05 Mustang.
Right, they're really throwing some callbacks to the original early Bronco.
Which-
the grill design with the round headlights and
Yep.
the single bar, center grill.
Mm-hmm.
The really well sculpted flat sides. Very square appearance.
So I really like the Broncos. I actually have a quite fondness to one. I actually drove one. I drove a 69.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first car I ever drove was a 69 Ford Bronco 3 on the tree.
Oh, nice.
At the time, the car seemed normal.
Uh-huh.
As soon as I drove any other manual car, it blew my mind that you shift on the column like, what the fuck is that shit?
Right.
But I always thought that car was going to be kind of handed down to me because I built it with my grandpa.
Right. Never happened.
And then I realized what Broncos were and what the values were turning into.
Right.
I think he
so, of
bought
course,
it-
you weren't going to get it.
Yeah, I think we bought it for like $2,000, put $1,000 into it, and sold it
Right.
for $8,000. So I was like, okay, I understand. But yeah, sorry, I'm a huge fan of the Bronco, and I'd love to see where it goes because I do have that fondness in my heart for them.
Right. I had an uncle that was really into the 80s and 90s Broncos as well. So, I've been around the older models a lot. And I really like that generation of F-150 as well. So, but what's really nice is they are saying that we are getting a 2-door and 4-door version. So it's going to be along the same lines as the Wrangler being offered in 2 and
Okay.
4-door.
Yeah.
So we've got that. The top is going to be removable. The doors are going to be removable. This thing is going to be kind of sold as, you can get it as luxury as you'd like, but it's also going to be a little utilitarian. I mean, there was a 7-speed manual transmission or 6-speed manual trans, something like that was talked about a few months back. That is actually, it's got Ford production code names at, I believe it's ZF. That is building the trans. It was either ZF or Getrag that was building it.
A third time. Whoa.
Right, and so they have it rated conspicuously at the same power level that the current EcoBoost is rated at. So there's kind of some talks, again in the rumor mill of there being a manual transmission EcoBoost option.
Which, yeah, that'd be actually really cool.
which would be really fun.
Yeah.
I think. So they're really touting this as kind of a new family of rugged off-road vehicle. So I think they're really going to start going after
the Jeep.
the Jeeps, FCA's.
Well, in
off-road.
Utah, in the U.S., there's not that many things that competing with the Jeep.
No, the Jeep is kind of like
The Jeep.
it's one of those things, kind of
It's
like
you've got a Jeep or you've got a catalog of parts that turns something else into an off-roader.
yeah, it's a lot like there's really nothing that competes directly with the Jeep, much like there's nothing that competes directly with the Corvette.
Yeah.
It's just like this weird thing that all the American manufacturers have just kind of come to. It's just like, okay, that's your thing. You're gonna do that,
Right.
So,
Yeah. So now nobody has said if it's going to get solid axles or if it's going to be independent suspension. Ford can go either way. They did that with the Explorer. They did that with the Expedition. Obviously, the Excursion was built on the Super Duty platform, so that stayed stick axle unless you got two-wheel drive.
I don't know if I would want to go with that because that's a hard one.
I mean, it
pick a side.
could honestly even be very loosely based on already proven F-150 drivetrain. We've got a good independent front suspension and a proven Dana stick axle in the back.
Yeah.
So
And that's worked for a lot of people for many, many years.
Right. So I mean, there's that.
What they should do is they should go back to the transaction twin.
TTB, twin traction.
Thank you, Dave.
You're
welcome.
I was trying too hard for that.
It's okay. I understand.
Yeah.
Even I fuck it up sometimes.
I was going to say ITV, but I knew that was the wrong one.
Nope, that's something also
Yeah.
awesome, but not here.
Nope.
None.
So let's see here. Oh, here's some renders of the new Bronco 4-door. I just typed in 2020 Bronco 4-door if you wanted to, or you can
Hold
pass
on,
this
there
along.
we go. Say for a teaser.
There we go. That's the teaser. It's underneath a cover.
Tight.
But I mean, there's a lot of renderings floating around,
I like that 4-door a lot.
and I'm really liking it because it's almost a pillarless 4-door.
The 4-door actually looks a lot like the first-gen Explorer to
There
me.
we go.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's-
I like that particular flavor that's keeping a lot of vintage Bronco. It's still boxy,
Yeah.
and you can kind of get an idea of where that hardtop would remove.
And it's like boxy in a way that it's not bad boxy. It looks
No,
like the
it's-
F-150 of this generation.
yeah,
I mean,
like,
it's a little bit more, boxed than the F-150. But I mean, you see a lot of F-150 like in the bumpers and in like
Yeah.
and see all of these concepts so far, or all of these renderings are showing an independent front, a stick axle rear. So I can only imagine they would be probably loosely based on an F-150.
Yeah, I really wish that story kind of gave us a bit more sense of like the size of the thing,
Right,
because
and
that would be a lot easier to be like, oh, well, this is going to be,
That second door could be really small.
I mean, I feel like this would be on par with a Super Crew. As far as interior room, I could see it being on par as a Super Crew F-150. As far as chassis length, I could see it being an extended cab F-150.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes
Because,
sense.
I mean, you are moving the rear axle a bit forward into the door, and you are allowing the seats to come a little bit further back than the door frame.
yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. If you guys know anything more about it, you can hit us up, too. And give us some insider information.
Yeah, I mean, if you're one of those top Ford dealers who were at the thing,
I mean, I can imagine somebody at Miller was
somebody
there.
had to have been.
Somebody at Miller had to have. I think
Yeah.
we've got the largest Ford dealership in the Western United States.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
I
a little bit.
think it's the Super Ford downtown, or not downtown, the one over on 13th South,
Yeah,
just west of the freeway. I think that's the largest Ford dealer in the Western U.S.
that would not surprise me. That thing is fucking massive.
Absolutely.
So,
But I mean, there's that. So
yeah, that's
that pretty well fills us out
on the news. I really hope that green that one of those renders was.
Ooh,
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was forest metallic green.
Yeah, that dark
That's-
kind
yeah.
of almost British racing, but not
Oh,
quite.
buddy.
Oh yeah,
I could see that as like I could see somebody doing like an FX4 Plus Bronco package where it has
yeah.
like gloss white inlays
Yeah,
on the doors or the body lines.
sign me
Just
up.
just
baby.
give me a white grill
Yeah.
and white Bronco lettering on the tailgate.
You know what? Let me let me get that color, and I'll just take it over to Envision and be like, "All right, guys, this is what we're doing."
Yeah, F me up, kids. Perfect. I
Fuck
like
me up,
it.
Tyrell.
Wow.
That's exactly what had happened.
Yep, and he'd be all smiles about it.
Of course he would.
He's such a happy dude.
I mean,
love him.
Shit, let's just go get a base model Bronco and then tell him to wrap it British Racing green.
Yeah, there we go. Problem solved.
Wow.
All right, well, that is it for the news, and we are going to be moving on to the racing.
Yeah, and that is brought to us by Steady Broke Clothing. Mm-hmm. That is steady.broke on all the social medias, steadybroke.com.
Yep, they've been supporting us since damn near day one.
Pretty much, yeah. Tommy's been an OG.
Yep.
He's given us a lot of content in the past, and he's also helped us out a whole bunch, past and present. So definitely go over, check out what they've got. They've got some of those new hot fashions you guys are looking for.
Let's pull this up real quick.
Yeah, pull it up. Steadybroke.com. Let's look at what's going on. I know they've got hats. I know they've got T-shirts. I think they've got sweatshirts. Let's see what we got here.
Still got the crop top, baby.
Yeah, the Broke AF crop top. Perfect.
The Tour Sick T-shirt. For I mean, I know some people who are just always out on the road,
like Tommy is.
Yep.
This speaks to my generation.
Yeah. There's the Hella Broke hat, the dad hat.
Yep.
You got Broke State University long sleeve. You get the Broke snapback, the Broke AF hoodie, or not hoodie, excuse me, the beanie.
Yep.
The Depresso shirt.
Yeah, the Depresso
shirt. I've got one of those.
So do I. It's a solid shirt.
They're super comfy.
Yeah.
So go snag you some of this good stuff to help support someone who supports us.
Now, before Dave says the next thing that I know he's about to say, I
want
to throw this out there. The most expensive thing on here is the hoodie, and that is $35.
I mean, guys, most of this stuff is cheaper than what you'd find on the rack at Walmart.
Yeah, like
you got T-shirts that are like $18 to $20. You got the crop tops $25. The Broke Zero tees $18.
Yeah, like
the Hella Broke dad hats $20. Like, I mean, come on, dude, the snapbacks $25 bones.
Yeah, like I mean, you're
I
not
bought hats for more than that for sure.
Yeah, like listen, like you're not.
I mean, shit, I paid $35 for a tan hat.
Hot damn.
Look at that. 2X on the Depresso tee, whopping $20.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2X availability there.
That is beautiful.
That is me and my fat ass demanding that shirt.
But you guys can check all this good stuff out yourself at steadybroke.com. They are steady.broke on all the social medias. Mm-hmm. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams.
Did you tell them how to save even more money?
Oh, snap. You know what the best part is?
Yeah.
If you type in CAMAuto15 in the coupon code, and you get 15% off the whole order. That $20 shirt, after like tax and shipping or whatever the hell it is, oh, that saves you $3.
Yeah.
So that turns that $20 shirt into a $17 shirt.
Yeah. Like it's, that hoodie, you save $5 on it.
Snap.
So it's $30. Like that's not, listen, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, when you're talking about these prices are, listen, we're basically stealing from Tommy at this point.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So, check it out, CAMAuto15 in the coupon code box at checkout. It gives you 15% off the whole order, so you can ball out on a budget.
Damn right.
Do that. Support us. Support those who support us. Look good doing it.
Damn right.
Boom.
Also another boom moment. IndyCar.
Oh, snap.
Actually finally went and did a race at COTA.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That took long enough.
Well, I mean, so the problem is... Texas Motor Speedway, the promoter there, he has always said you can either race here or you can race at COTA, but you can't race at both.
Oh, snap.
So he's always been kind of a dick like that.
And so now they just said, all right, we'll take your take your racetrack and go home.
I think they're still racing. They're just like, listen, you need us more than we need you.
Oh, snap.
So
your move, holy man.
Yeah. So he's just like, fine, whatever. So the IndyCar Classic took place at COTA over the weekend.
Beautiful. So how'd it go?
It was quite interesting. The rookies were doing quite well. Felix Rosenqvist, the Swedish rookie, I mean, he was pretty near the top of the timesheets all weekend. I think he qualified like fourth or something like that.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. But if you remember back at the spring tests, Colton Herta, this young man seen here holding the hat.
I want his hair.
It looks magnificent. He was damn near at the top of the timesheets for every spring test session.
Yeah.
Yep. And a late caution came out as he was in the lead. Felix Rosenqvist unfortunately was involved in a little bit of a boo boo.
Did he boop?
Somebody booped him. I can't remember who it was. But, yeah. So Colton Herta was leading this race. There were like 15 laps to go as the safety car pulled in. He had to hold off two champions. Behind him, Alexander Rossi, Scott Dixon. Joseph Newgarden was right behind him. The dude who won the series last year.
Oh.
It's not like it was just some dudes. It's like some guys who can wheel. We're right there behind him. But he comes around the last turn, green flag goes, and he just takes the fuck off. Like he put a 3.5 second gap.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's...
Like he just drove the fuck away from them. So, and, the aforementioned Will Power, who is still a meme, go ahead and look up Will Power meme. WIL Power meme. It's hilarious. He was doing all right. He came into the pits, and then an input shaft snapped as he was trying to leave.
Oh.
Yep. So he was not exactly thrilled. Yep. There you go. Zach found it.
I've seen this meme before.
It is hilarious. So, but with Colton Herta's win, he is now the youngest IndyCar winner at 18 years, 11 months, 25 days old.
Oh, really?
The previous youngest winner was Graham Rahal. You might know his dad, Bobby. Graham was 19 years, 3 months, and 2 days old when he won in St. Pete in 2008. Yeah, the willpower meme is just, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Dave.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It makes me happy.
I should stop this.
No, you shouldn't. These are great. So, yeah, there was also a NASCAR race, but I didn't watch any of that because I don't care that much unless, it's hilarious or it's on a TV that I am currently watching. But we had a bit of interesting local news go down.
Interesting is definitely a word to use.
Yeah, it's a thing that fucking happened. So,
unfortunately,
it kind of sparked. It brought the community, not like all aspects of the community, together to voice their opinion that what had happened was kind of bullshit. So
super shitty.
So, what happened? I've been talking to a couple of people about this, and I'm going to try and write it up in a story that'll show up in the next couple of days. So the Utah Kart Championship, if you've ever been out to a NASA weekend and you've seen, behind one of the day garages, near the kart track, like half the day garage is filled with karts and people working on them. That's because we have a thing called the Utah Kart Championship that, has a championship season out on the kart track.
Right.
So what had happened is, and I talked to Scott Clark, the president of the Utah Kart Championship.
Right.
He had been talking to UMC since the end of their last season, trying to get this season locked in, get contracts signed and everything. And they'd been going back and forth, about prices and all that other stuff. And finally, a few days before I think this weekend is supposed to be the first, or last weekend was supposed to be the first test and tune.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they already had a test and tune, is what I read.
No, they were going to have a test and tune, and then it was going, they had their season or something. I don't know.
Okay, I might have misread.
Anyway, so Scott thought he was going to be getting an email with the contract for this season for use of the kart track and other things. But instead, he got an email from John Clegg, the Chief Financial Officer of Utah Motorsports Campus, and here is what the email says. After discussions amongst our executive team, we have decided that we will not host any UKC events at UMC during 2019, as it does not fit within our business model. We will be happy to honor the 2 contracted test and tune days per the contracts already signed, but are willing to release your obligation from them if you so desire. After the season concludes, we may be open to discussions for the 2020 season and beyond, providing a plan can be devised that is financially viable for both parties. Thank you, John Clegg, CFO, yada, yada, yada.
That was put in such a way where it was just like, hey, fuck you guys.
It came across as that, and it's... Well,
I'm really curious as to what their business model actually is. A lot of really big names are really upset at this.
Yeah, a lot of people are very upset about this because, well, and it's one of those things,
it probably could have been worded better.
Well, yeah, it's one of those, like, when you see the phrase does not fit within our business model in reference to a racetrack, this was, like, when I said the community kind of came together, this wasn't everybody, this was like, and they came for whomever, and I said nothing. Then they came for whomever, and I still said nothing. And finally they came for me, and there was no one to speak for me.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is, except we're,
Also, the line was like providing it can both devised as, well, I can't read English today, but the last line, it's just like really financial for both parties. Like,
yeah.
That just sounds like, it just sounds kind of shitty.
Well, so Scott is basically like, he's not looking to make money on this. He just wants to, break even.
Yeah, he just wants to, this is like the drift community and all the other community of the Valley. They're here to serve the community and have people in the community be a part of something and feel welcome somewhere.
Yeah. So, there's a lot going on behind this that led to this email and what's going on right now, because they're still talking to each other. Of course. Still trying to figure this out. But last I heard, it did not sound... The offer that UMC gave to the UKC was not that great. It was essentially amounted to a half day, like noon to 4, for them to try to get out there and race. Have multiple classes running.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very viable.
No, that does not seem like it's going to happen. Yeah. And so I can understand where UMC is coming from. This year, they have to make a profit. Like, they need to... they don't have to make a ton of money. They just have to be in the black at the end of the year. So, that's... or else this thing could get mothballed and, suddenly I'm having to, blow the dust off the keys to the city, which is, bolt cutters that I've got kicking around, so we can get in there and do stuff, Right. So, we don't want this thing to close, but also, we don't
want to get stepped on either.
No, and, I understand that UMC needs to make a profit, but But
at what cost?
Exactly,
Because if you piss off everybody in the Valley who's using your facility during your time of making money, when you're ready to have them help you make money, they're not going to be around.
Yeah, it's like... the UKC has had, they've had their prices double, since UMC has become a thing. Other people have seen dramatic price increases for, track usage. Yeah. So that's why I've heard stories of UMC coming to people who have done previous track days a while ago and saying, by the way, you still owe us money for this thing. Yeah, I know you've paid up, but you still owe us money.
Yeah. Also, I don't think anything official has been released about this, but the majority rumor is there is no drag racing on the front straight anymore.
Yeah,
I've heard that's been mulched.
Yeah, which the thing I don't get about that though is you're making money off that. That track is going to sit unused for that, from my understanding, unless they have someone filling that track time.
No, they don't. That's the problem with the sale, and it taking as long as it did. It kind of... Because I was in the room when the initial sale was supposed to have gone through, and everybody was happy, and fucking dickweed McJackoff, stormed out and gave me a dirty look.
Right.
Because I was there holding a camera and asking people questions.
Of course.
So clearly, and I was holding the wrong kind of camera. If I had a TV camera or something, he would have talked my ear off. But
I'm sure.
Whatever.
But you're a YouTuber.
Not at the time. I was still journalist whatever.
I see what kind of camera you're saying.
Yeah,
okay, I get it.
Anyway, no, UMC, they were just like, we're going to put in, we want to build cars here and then send them to China. We want to have the Chinese people come here, learn how to run a racetrack, and then we'll send them back to China because we're going to build 5 or 6 of these tracks, all this stuff that we want to do. But since, cock-smoking McDicknuts just ruined us,
right?
Took so long...
it strung us out an extra, 3 years?
Yeah, they've already built those tracks where they train people there.
Yeah.
They have their own manufacturing over there already.
Right. Now UMC's original purpose is it's taken by other locations.
It's just kind of here now. Like, it's a thing. And, like, the owner of Geely is super proud that he owns an American racetrack, but,
But this is going to be kind of like the guy in the jean shorts and the white New Balances that talks endlessly about his base model auto Corvette and never pulls it out of the garage.
Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean...
And by doing that, you're fucking over a massive community that has years and years and years of time here.
Yeah, like, we have invested, years in...
It's been here over a decade
Yeah.
for us to use.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is, like, Scott said something, there was a live stream. If you go to, I believe, the UKC, Utah Kart Championship on Facebook, they did a live stream of the little meeting that they had. He was talking to all the people, all the karters, and in there he said, it feels like the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. And since this sale, there's been a lot of turnover.
Right.
Troy Duffin, who I used to shoot, as an open wheel racer when NASA still had an open wheel thing. And then, he had that red Datsun 510 that would show up at NASA events.
Right.
That was, Troy's car. Troy was serving as legal counsel on a bunch of other things for UMC, but before that meeting, last week, he just announced that he was done. He was leaving UMC. The South African fella who was running things, day to day, he just moved his family over from Denver. They canned him. Like, so a lot of the people who were here, when UMC was just running this thing for the county, have been sent packing. And these new people, like, John Clegg has gone from sitting in an office to now having to deal with kind of operations stuff. And they don't, from everything I've heard, what, Clegg is like, and reading this email really kind of hammers it home, he's not used to having to deal with people face to face. Like, he's not used to having to deal with people who are like, yeah, but this thing that we had been talking about was set in stone. Like, he can't, humanity is something that seems to evade him.
Yeah.
I feel like John Clegg is the boss from Office Space.
No, hear who he is. No. I have a better example, and this is an even more esoteric one. In Band of Brothers.
Oh, shit.
The commanding officer.
Oh, shit.
Who would always, he was very aloof. Nobody would talk to him, and he wouldn't talk to anybody. Like, he asked one of the guys, like, so where are you from? Huntington, West Virginia. Huntington, eh? Interesting. I have to go make a phone call. And that was always his thing. I have to go make a phone call. And finally, the company's just like, we need to get him the hell out of here. And they found a way to get him out of there on, like, a USO press tour back in the States to, Clegg seems kind of like that guy. Like, he understands what he's there to do, but he's had things thrown at him that he didn't either think he would have to deal with or has no idea how to deal with.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's kind of a problem because currently they are, like, we need the track. The track needs us.
Yeah.
But the problem is the track is making it increasingly difficult for us to be there. It's
right.
It's like dating someone who has, like, addiction issues. It's like, I love you, but you love heroin. And currently you love heroin more than you love me.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, maybe you and heroin just need to do your thing. And we will go ahead and, do our cheeky shenanigans elsewhere, even if that means packing up the trailer and, participating in NASA Rocky Mountain events or going down and doing Vegas drift stuff. Or,
right. Our options at that point are Vegas, Colorado Springs,
Magic Valley up in Idaho.
Yeah, I mean, that counts.
It's like...
It's there.
It's there.
It's there. But
Shout out to David Honey.
Yeah.
We're very codependent with them. Like,
yeah, it's a...
There's a very niche motorsports market here in Utah that is different from every other climate.
Yeah.
And this is currently the only venue we have. I mean, with drifting, this is essentially the only venue we have.
Yeah.
Can't drift at Maverick Center. Can't drift at Legacy, Event Center. That there's talks of using Cole's Proving Grounds, Life Proving Grounds, but we don't know.
It's kind of limited there.
It really is limited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a skid pad and a giant, oval.
Yeah. So, like, we're kind of in this. I mean, I'm sure there are ways around this, but, it just seems like right now people are still butting heads.
Right.
We can't, we're hoping cooler heads will prevail in this, so we still have a facility in the future, and it is a financially viable facility.
Right.
Right. So, because we don't want to have this amazing thing either be turned into... My greatest fear is it'll be turned into some sort of, like, private motorsports country club thing.
Right, like, what is it, Pahrump?
Yeah, like Pahrump, like Thermal, like...
right.
I can't remember the place, but it's just outside of Joliet in Illinois.
Right, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, they're great facilities, but the problem is suddenly...
You need lots of money.
They're private, and you're looking at, $60,000 to $100,000 just for the buy-in. Then you got to add your money in the track days.
Yeah, like 60 to 100 gets you in and gets you a handful of days when they say. It's like a timeshare, basically.
Right.
The more you spend, the more it becomes better for you. But that is my greatest fear. Not that the track will become bulldozed, not that the track will become abandoned.
Because that would never happen. We already have the infrastructure there.
Yeah,
someone wants it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if anything, it will be bulldozed because everything's already built out there. All you have to do is rip stuff up and then build out from there.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, the homes at Black Rock or whatever will hop up.
Yeah, I guess but it's shitty that could happen, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it would happen. I think it's like there's nothing around it. There's already an infrastructure there, and there's already a community that wants to use it. It just depends on whose hands the key's in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those, like, I have been, just like through skateboarding, there have been places that we would have loved to see stick around, but they've been, torn down, or they've had just a bunch of rules slapped upon them where it's like, fuck it, we might as, you wanted to keep us off of the streets, so you built us this place, but you're making it very hostile to us, so why would we come here back to the streets?
Right.
So, and, like I said, my greatest fear is this being turned into, like, some sort of country club, because then it's like, oh, it's still there. People are still using it.
But we cannot.
Like, you are literally...
The average person cannot.
Yeah, like, you're literally on the outside looking in, and it's like,
I think that's almost worse than having it no longer exist.
It is. Like, it's like seeing, like, that ex that broke your heart that you're still carrying a torch for. You see them with somebody new, and it's just like,
stab, rippy, stab, stab.
Where's my bourbon?
Yeah, I don't know. So we're gonna see. I guess
it's gonna be really interesting to watch this unfold. The next interesting and not the right way.
I'm going to be talking with the rest of the Salt City Drift organizers this coming week. We've got a little powwow going on. We're going to be at the Take Luck Drift seminar thing going on at Brandon's shop up in Clearfield.
Is that tomorrow?
It's Friday.
Yes,
Friday. So
might show up for that
in a few days. Yeah, I mean, be sure to buy your slot. On takeluckdrifting.com. But yeah, so I will be talking with OP and Hadlock and Collier.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and figure some stuff out. It sounds like because of what's going on with UMC right now, we are going to be losing some of our Friday events. It's likely we will not be losing all of them,
but
from what I've been told,
but a good chunk of them probably.
Well, and yeah, what I've been told, and of course I'm skeptical now, but what I've been told is that we are being told that we are wanted and worth keeping around. We being the drift community.
It's funny,
but at what cost is what we're concerned about, because they want a mint for us to slide on the track. They don't want us on the kart track.
Yeah.
No.
We're basically limited to the West Paddock, which is fine. But, what's got me a little worried is, the Lucas Off-Road Series isn't here this year. So we're using that area where they would normally park and do their stuff to stage.
Where they'd paddock.
Right, exactly. No, we're using that to stage and, pit and whatnot, and we're going to have the whole West Paddock. But that kind of worries me. Lucas isn't here anymore, and, UKC just got the axe, and NASA's worried about being next, and then we've got, somebody bright-eyed, bushy-tailed saying, no, but we like you guys. We want you here. We don't make UMC money.
No,
UKC probably makes UMC more money than Salt City Drift does.
Well, so
NASA probably makes UMC more money than Salt City Drift does. I'm sure Lucas Oil made UMC money far more than Salt City Drift does.
Yeah, well, there will be getting to the UKC making the money. The biggest thing of contention is the kart center being unavailable for people who drive out and want to,
just use
drive.
it on a daily basis.
Yeah, because, suddenly there's a race series going on. One of the things that Scott and UKC pitched to UMC is, well, let's have a class for people who want to come out and just race in those concession karts.
Uh-huh.
So that way, they will be on track. They will actually get timed and everything. They'll be out there with some of our regulars, so they can be like, I'm out here racing. This is awesome.
So that's how K1 did. I don't know if you guys know, I used to work at K1, but we would have championship days where anybody could show up to those. But the people who were there to race were always there.
Right.
Yeah, that would be, so
it could piggyback as a test and tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be like a regular race day for UKC, but there would also be an opportunity for just these, people off the street to come in and actually, race and compete and,
And as someone, like I said, I worked at K1, and I raced quite a bit there. I'm not saying I'm good at racing by any means, of course. But I always enjoyed racing people off the street.
Yeah.
Because it was way more of a challenge to race with Joe Smo and their mom trying to run a 27-second lap while I'm trying to run a 23.
Yeah,
That's was true.
That would be one of those things where it's just the karting thing is cool. Also, it can be more than just this fun little thing. Little Stevie doesn't like baseball. He doesn't like playing basketball. He seems to really be taking to this. Maybe this is a thing we could, get him into.
Yeah. Other thing, too, is I just thought of this was we actually made a lot of regulars by just having them race with people who came in 4 times a week. Because they come in and then they get their ass beat by somebody who buys 500 races at once and goes, why is that guy so good? And he goes, well, he races a lot. And he goes, well, I want to be that good. And so then they come in and they join the community.
Yeah, it's one of those things. UKC was just we will give them all the money for the concession karting class. All those entry fees, we would just give them right to the track. That would be theirs. They wouldn't be, they'd probably still lose out on some walk-up traffic, but seeing as how it's 40 minutes away from Salt Lake.
Yeah, because every time I've been out there, I've raced with maybe 6 people.
I can't imagine anybody is driving from downtown Salt Lake to basically Grantsville and expect to show up and hop in a cart and be able to go, without making at least a phone call in advance.
Yeah, I've been out there twice. Every time we did, we called to make sure, hey, are you guys available? Are we?
Yeah, 1, are you open? 2, are you available?
Yeah. So, that would have been, I feel that would have been a really awesome thing, because you're still getting some of your random walk-up traffic, but you're also helping feed this community that is pretty much centered around your facility. So, you're going to get people coming out, renting garages, buying stuff at the concession stand,
paying for parking.
Exactly, paying you things. But, hopefully this,
I'm just really more interested in what UMC's business model is.
Yeah,
I would like a little bit more transparency as to what the business model is, because I feel like that's probably the biggest issue everybody has now. Is it's just those, those words.
Yeah, and
it does not fit within our business model, and nobody really has any clue what that is. Yeah. Maybe if we knew what the business model was, we would be able to offer solutions, or options.
Because I've got some ideas that I think could help, but it's one of those things where it's what exactly are you willing to do to get people through the door, if you really want to hang your hat on, oh, well, we had this many people at this event, I can probably get you a good chunk of those people coming through if you just kind of listen to my idea and talk to these people who have a better idea of how to make my idea happen. You know?
Right.
I mean, there's a grid life thing happening in Colorado, and I'm just saying, like, we also have a fantastic facility that has a lot of room for camping and other things.
I feel like that's something that even by itself will naturally progress, especially given ISS.
Yeah.
You know, wanting to change more into a kind of a full motorsports festival event instead of just a car show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening at a track, so we may as well use it.
Yeah.
And so I hope that is something that is considered for, you know, the future endeavors of UMC.
Yeah, because like I'm just thinking about like Lemons and Concours de Le Mans, like those things are like how that brings in a shitload of people.
Yeah,
why
it really does.
Why aren't we getting those here?
It just seems like there's a lot of these things where it's like, you know, oh yeah, you could have these people paying to use your facility and also bringing in a ton of other things and making this place a bit more well known.
Yeah,
you know,
because we've only had 2 Lemons races here.
Right, and we've got, I think, 7 or 8 Lemons teams in Utah.
Yeah.
That are Utah-based.
And I would think very seriously about creating a Lemons team if I didn't have to drive to, where's the nearest track? I think the nearest one is not Sonoma. What is it?
I mean, they do have a race at Sonoma.
I know they do. Is that the closest one, you think?
I mean,
I don't think they've got anything in Colorado.
No.
I know there's something like in Georgia.
I know there's one in Wyoming. They have something in Wyoming.
Is there really?
I'm going to Google this. And
I don't think there is.
Last time I looked at it, I thought there was, because we were like joking about how much it would cost to tow a car somewhere.
Ugh.
But
all right. Well,
I don't know. We can bug our man Chilinsky about that.
Yes.
He's probably screaming at his phone right now or whatever he listens to.
Probably. Making his coworkers think he's even crazier than he is.
I mean, they wouldn't be wrong.
Nope. All right. Well, while Zack does that, we are going to go ahead and start bringing this thing in.
Yeah.
Because that little discussion went a little bit deeper than I thought it was going to.
You know, that's okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and if you guys have some thoughts, comments, questions, if you have some insider information, please hit us up. We are mailbag@camautomag.com. You can get us Cam Automag on all the social medias.
Yep, just shoot us a direct message, and we're here to listen.
I mean, yeah, we're literally everywhere. You can hit us up on any of the mediums.
Yep.
I personally would like to hear all of your thoughts about it.
Yeah. I mean, let us know, and we will get some of your thoughts on, next week's episodes, because this is a thing that...
This affects all of us.
Yes, it does.
And, we're going to touch a little bit more on this on the Thursday episode. We're going to ask you again for your comments and questions and what have you.
Yeah.
But this is something we need to be paying attention to as motorsports enthusiasts of all kinds in the beautiful state of Utah.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it was real cool to see everybody, the road racing guys, the autocross guys, the kart guys, the drag guys, everybody kind of come together and be like, hey.
Everybody here was, they were like, whoa, wait, hold on, what's going on here?
Every page I follow had something about them. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Also, Sonoma, doing the ones that are nearby. I should be a better list in my head. There's like 3 races in Washington this year.
Huh.
Buttonwillow, Deer Trail in Colorado.
Okay.
They go there twice, actually.
Nice.
There was a couple other ones. There was one in Washington, Minnesota. Another one in Colorado. There's one in Colorado, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Buttonwillow again.
This is just delightful.
Yeah, sorry. I should have built a better list. So I guess Buttonwillow or Colorado.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so you're looking at a 8-hour drive, or you're looking at a 14-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yep. So pick your poison.
Yep.
Anyway. All right. So there we go. On Thursday's episode 178.
Or Arizona.
Nobody wants to go to Arizona.
I do.
Because you were like... Never mind, I'm going to stop talking.
Anyway, we've got a Track Daily Crush from Devin Creasy that we're going to get into. We are going to draft the ultimate road trip.
Yes, we are.
Yup.
I have a feeling it's going to be a long one, so buckle up, guys.
Yup, and we're also going to read some of your choices for your ultimate road trip, we've got some great ones on the social medias.
Excellent.
Yup. So, anyway, Dave told you where you can find us on the social medias.
Social.media/CamAutomag. Pretty much everywhere.
Yep.
CamAutomag and all the various.
Yep. I'm going to remind you to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/CamAutomag, and that you can find this podcast everywhere you find podcasts. Just search CAMcast or CamAutomag. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play. Rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends, because much like the horizontal Midnight Lindy, it's better with people.
God damn.
And your bed must be made of teak instead of balsa wood for that to be.
Is that why it's not happening for me?
Yeah.
I'm using balsa wood.
Yeah, that's why whenever you jump into bed, exactly, it just blows out.
It's like the sixth move in Jenga.
It's like an old Godzilla.
Say that right now.
It's like an old Godzilla movie.
Gojira.
Just
question mark.
Foam, rubber, sparks, and sadness.
Oh.
Anyway.
That sounds like my sex life.
There we go.
Wow.
Foam, rubber, and sadness.
No.
Sparks and sadness.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
If any time was the proper time for the sad air horns, that was it.
Was absolutely it.
Yes.
Christ almighty.
No, you have to beat the... Anyway, for episode 177 of the CAMcast, I have been Mike.
My name's Goots.
My name's Zack.
What?
I thought
You tried.
Okay.
Oh, shit, I forgot to introduce us at the top.
Oh, yeah, you
What?
did.
I forgot to introduce us.
How did we forget that?
I just said, welcome to the CAMcast. And,
Fuck it.
Oh, whatever.
I don't even give a shit at this
You
point.
know who we are.
Present.
Don't you know who I
I'm
am?
present.
I am the art, damn it. I am the one that...